Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Let's have a look and August garden tour with me. And the first time we show you around my tropical plants and house plants also in garden. First we start with the gold nuggets on the leather box, showing its beautiful color with the cooler weather. And now in front of the garage I already replaced the summer flowers from the container because it does not look good anymore from the heat wave. I replaced them with our local geraniums. So let's walk into the garden. This is still in the morning. The sun is shining through. It's much gentler than earlier in July, but still quite strong. Look at this beautiful Alocasia dragon scale. I have two of them, but you can see this dark green foliage is really attractive, and he is thriving outside in the nature in the summer. And on the other corner of here, this place only have a little bit early morning sunlight, and the rest of the day is in bright shade, so which makes a very good place for Philodendron Pink Princess and the Philodendron Fuzzy Petiole. Since I moved the Pink Princess out in the garden, these two new leaves are much bigger and has more pink in it. I don't know what's the magic about more pink, but I'm very happy with that. And Fuzzy Petiole, can you believe it's a single plant? And after this summer holiday, it domained the whole rectangular container I gave to this plant, and it is a crawler. And behind my Dr. King camellia tree is my humble small collection of common Hoyas for the second time. I know I purchased more than I ever needed, but Hoya is cute and they are happy in summer garden. And here between my two Hydrangea paniculata, I throw some couple of plants for the autumn interest and winter interest, because here is not full sun, so before I can enjoy the fully grown hydrangeas, I try to fill in the blank with smaller plant. Here under the limelight hydrangea, to my surprise, this garden orchid flowered again. I planted this orchid in last winter in garden, and it did nothing for the first half of the year. Now it came out with beautiful pink flowers. I got interrupted by the real life, unfortunately, so I came back with the videos in the late afternoon this day. And here is my new garden bed behind the garage. Used to be covered with ivy and fern, if you remember. I recently had covered this ground with newspaper and cardboard and remulched it over the cardboard against the 3 million weeds on the ground from coming up again. It is always difficult to find the weeds back for the first 2 years after I opened the new garden bed. And these philodendrons are very happy here. Here are mostly my newly planted young plants from Japanese maple trees and camellias. They are growing good. They are coming up nicely, but they need time to grow to taller than me at least, I hope. Garnet is a very slow growing. I don't think this umbrella-shaped maple tree will be taller than me. If you hear any noise on the background, it's our new cat making trouble with me. And I cannot stop him because he's too cute. And yes, this is the entrance area of the garden at summertime. And by August, our dahlias finally start to flower. And this is my favorite caladium this year, 2022. It's called Bottled Rocket. I find this vintage feeling color is very attractive, and the growth is also fantastic. And here is, I remember very clearly, I bought a yellow flower, sunlight yellow flower dahlia. Why it came out white is a mystery, and all of the friends I know purchased this one also have white flowers. Maybe it's the weather, who knows. And here is the new rose from my previous video, Bernadette Lafon. I already planted, changed the soil, adding the rose soil and mulched it. Everything is fine. The perfume is fantastic. Enjoy it every day. Of course, I have to cut the flower back very soon. Here in this cute giraffe container is another winter heart succulent. I hope so. The label says he is winter heart. Let's have a look this winter. Here comes the rose bed in the front yard. At the moment, they are all forming buds. Only Liviana has a little bit flower. You can see from the light pink color that our weather our temperature in the night is quite cool or cold, because in hot weather it's more apricot color. In a little bit chilly weather in the morning and evening will be more light pink. This is my second rose of Blue Girl. My favorite is in the backside of the garden. This is the second one. It also have flower on it. And this couple of days it was keep raining, and they are doing fantastic in the rain. This is a climber Polka 91. I don't know if it's because too hot this summer. The flowers are losing its pink margin, only have the apricot color. The cat, can you please stop pushing me away from the iPad? Thanks. And hydrangeas are over, of course, but the old flowers are still on it. And yes, this is a shady area. No direct sunlight makes it a fantastic place for my houseplants in summer. Philodendron Moonlight and Philodendron Stanleyana variegata with both white variegation and yellow variegation, and only cost €16 from Germany. Fantastic purchase, and the cat is still attacking me at the same time. And here is a monstera from my living room in winter, after I finally drag him out to the nature. It's getting used to the real sunlight, and the newest two leaves are very healthy, and the petiole is quite short, no stretch anymore. Beautiful. And here is a shady corner behind the house. Endless summer hydrangea are finished at the time. And I have also a couple of hostas here. They need more time to grow to full size than other locations of the garden, and also a couple of peperomia here and another dischidia here also. When I think about my tropical plants, they are so happy at the moment in end summer. Hope the summer never ends. And here a couple of succulent I will move very soon to the balcony. Oh, look at this. At summer, from midsummer to end summer, the Castle Formacus rose never lay me down. Maybe because it's a Swiss rose, so it's grown here and tested here for so many years. Look at this color. Regardless of this hot temperature by the midday and torture from the rain, the color remains as the standard S from the label, beautiful pink and apricot blend. And the shape is also very steady in summertime. Of course, the single flower is slightly smaller than the spring flower, but nevertheless, such a strong beauty in summer. I feel so lucky that I got it last summer and planted in my garden. Here is the Cordes Fairy Tale series rose corner. I don't know how to say it. From here, I throw in a couple of footage I took 2-3 days before this garden tour, because got really interrupted from the construction and from the telephones. The Bliss perfume. The flowers are flatter in summer and smaller, but the color is still this soft rosa. So nice. Now the noise from the background is a cat coming again. And yes, our worst time for rose has passed, I believe. Now we can really enjoy the flowers in the coming months, September and early October. This is Courage Rose. Courage Rose, 2 years by me in my garden. I find it's a very rain-resistant type of rose. Even from the outlook of the flower, maybe you think differently, but after last summer, the disaster, pouring rain, and this summer also a lot of storm, it's really nice. And here, where used to be this famous pampas grass, tortured me for years, I finally planted the Grand Award climber. It's a climber. Of course, after this video, I have already cut off these flowers and removed the unnecessary weak branches and stems. Hope she can settle very well in the garden before the winter comes. And on the right side is the late flower clematis, because our wheat weathered this early spring, so he decided to flower end August. And this clematis, I don't know how old is he. He is huge on top of the house before we moved in, so he took care of himself very well over the decades. And I also planted the Ito peony that I bought from the previous video. And this is a lion's rose. In this hot weather, the color is almost white, and the single flower don't last more than 2 days, unfortunately, in summer. We will see how he's doing in springtime, but it gives a lot of flower. And I find the lion rose is not written on the labels. Even one top of the stem has a flower on it. And along the stem still shoot out new pops, new stems, growing at the same time, which guaranteed a lot of flower at the same time. This is on the patio at the moment, not a lot of flowers. This is iceberg, kingfisher rose. I only planted how long? 1-2 months. It's constantly coming with flowers. Very nice. And my favorite blue rose, the Blue Girl, 2008. At the moment, she's forming buds. I'm looking forward. Yes, and here I add a little bit more footage about my lovely rose, of course. And thanks for watching, and thanks for your patience. I wish you all have a lovely day. a lovely weekend with houseplants and garden and with your garden. I hope I can survive our tight schedule next week by the family and see you very soon in the garden world. So see you next time.